year. So, first things first, I've got a few things to get out of the way before I get started on the video proper. Number one, have you seen my cool new intro yet? It is by the guys over at Studio Goblin. They are a local Norwich-based company. They're fantastic. I really love the work they did on my intro and my end card and a little bumper that I haven't used yet, but you guys will get to see eventually. The link to their website is in the description below. I highly recommend them. Please check them out. Number two, yes, I got my hair cut. Yes, I know I said I was growing it out. I have the impulse control of a 5-year-old in a toy store. Please don't at me. And number three, I have just launched my brand new podcast. It is called Pop Talk. You can listen to it over on SoundCloud. It is linked down below, and it is all about pop culture. And basically what we do is me and two of my friends, we argue over various different topics. This topic for the first episode was, why do video game movies suck and why do they keep being made? So please go and check that out as well. Now that all of that's out of the way, today's video is a bit of a weird one. Basically, the very first video that I did when I relaunched this YouTube channel was called the Top 5 Anime I Want to Watch This Year, or something like that. It was way back when this channel had an even lower production value than what it has now. I thought it would be fun to go back and watch that video and see A, if I actually watched any of those anime, B, what those anime were, and if I did or didn't watch any of those anime, I could then tell you what I did watch this year, what I enjoyed, and what I'm looking forward to watching next year. The first series that I wanted to watch from that original video was Yuri on Ice. Yes, I did watch this. I actually got to the end of it. It didn't end tragically. I really enjoyed it. It was brilliant. I'm so glad I watched it, and it's actually opened up my mind to watching sports animes and happier animes rather than just stuff that's definitely going to end tragically. The next series that I wanted to watch was called A Centaur's Life. Unfortunately, I only got like 3 episodes into it and then I dropped it because even though it had an interesting premise, it was just too slice of life, too boring and mundane for my tastes. Third was My Hero Academia, and I went from having no faith in this series to watching all of it this year. I am completely caught up on My Hero Academia. I've seen the My Hero Academia movie, 2 Heroes. I think it's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to the next season next year, and I cannot believe that I went from having no faith in it to it being probably my favorite anime series currently. Next up was Recovery of an MMO Junkie. Now, I went through my Crunchyroll list recently and watched the first episode of everything that was in it. And I watched the first episode of Recovery of an MMO Junkie. And it's still on my watch list. I haven't watched it quite yet. It's just not a high priority anymore. And the final series that I wanted to start watching this year was Naruto. And I actually started watching it. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's such a microcosm of early 2000s anime. It's brilliant. I'm at the end of the second arc, I think, the one where they're in the Waterland and they're fighting, is it Zubazu? I don't know. It's been a few weeks since I've watched any Naruto. It tends to be the series I put on when I'm not really sure what else I want to watch. I just put Naruto on. But overall, I don't think that's too bad. I finished one of the animes, I dropped one of the animes, I got caught up on one of the animes, and I started another one of the animes, which, realistically, considering I have no willpower whatsoever to do anything I say, isn't too bad for me. So, what did I actually watch this year? Other than Yuri on Ice and My Hero Academia, I actually watched a fair amount of anime. I watched all of Death Parade, and I tell you what, if it appeals to me now at the age of 23, it would have really appealed to me when I was 14 years old, and Edgelord, Shadow the Hedgehog was one of my favourite games. I think Death Parade is one of those animes that it captures you in such a way. Basically, it's a supernatural mystery thriller, which is 3 of my favourite things. So I'm so happy I watched it. It was really enjoyable, and it has got one of the best opening songs that I have heard in anime for a really long time. And if you actually go and watch the music video for that song, which I'll probably link in the description as well because it is hilarious, it's so cheesy, and you really wouldn't think it would fit the Death Parade kind of feel, but the way they animated all of the opening was brilliant. Go and watch Death Parade. I also got myself caught up on Attack on Titan. I'm really enjoying Attack on Titan again. I kind of fell off the Attack on Titan wagon around about season 2. The first few episodes of season 2 were just a bit too slow for me. It felt a bit like filler. So I just kind of dropped it and then picked it back up again when I was going through my Crunchyroll queue. I got really excited for season 3. I actually didn't realise season 3 was ending when it did. So when it ended and it was like, it'll be back next year, I was like, no, I need more. And I've even stopped hating Eren Yeager so much. I used to really despise him and think that he was the worst character, but having watched season 2 and the first half of season 3, I don't necessarily feel sympathy for him. I don't necessarily like him. I just don't hate him as much as I used to. I also watched Agretsuko. I am a huge fan of things like Gudetama, where they look like they're for kids, but really they're not. And Agretsuko is one of those things. It is a Sanrio product, and what it is it's a little red panda who works in an office job, and she deals with her crappy life, basically, by going to karaoke and singing death metal. It really appealed to me. It is exactly the sort of thing that I would do if I was working a really boring office job. And the episodes themselves don't feel that long. It's really great. It's one of those animes that you can just pop on. It is dubbed on Netflix, so you can just pop it on and watch it all in one go, which is pretty much what I did. I think I watched the entire series over 2 days. And the last anime that I watched to completion this year was Cheer Boys. And it's actually Cheer Boys that opened me up to watching the end of Yuri on Ice. It is about a group of male cheerleaders, and they want to be male-only cheerleaders, so there's no girls in it, and it actually focuses more on their lives and character development rather than it does the sport itself, and that's something I really liked. And I actually want to watch more sports animes and more kind of slice of life style series because of Cheer Boys and Yuri on Ice. So next up, what am I currently watching? Currently, I'm watching Naruto, obviously. I have so many episodes of that to get through, and I want to watch Shippuden, and then I'm probably going to want to watch Boruto as well, just because I feel like by that point I have to. I'm also really into some of the anime that came out this season. I'm currently watching Zombieland Saga, Skullface Bookseller Honda-san, and That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which are odd choices for me. They are not anime that I would normally watch. Zombieland Saga is an idol-based anime. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san is one of those little 10-minute shorts that have a really weird, wacky sense of humor, a bit like Cromartie High School, which is one of my favorites, which is why I'm enjoying Bookseller Honda-san so much. And That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is a really odd one. It's just a campy little fantasy-style anime, but it's got a weird twist in that the main character is a slime, which is usually a very low-powered enemy in an MMORPG. I'm also slowly making my way through Food Wars. I can't binge Food Wars quite as much as I can everything else. The fan service does get to be a little bit too much, but it is still hilarious. I'm really enjoying it. I think the concept of Food Wars is so unique, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm only about 20 episodes in, so please no spoilers. Mind you, I have no idea what's going on half the time anyway, because it is just so wacky. I'm also about halfway through Uma Musume Pretty Derby and Cells at Work. These are, again, not necessarily anime that I would normally watch. Pretty Derby is about horse girls at horse school learning how to run fast, and Cells at Work, I think it's very much like Dragon Ball with the way some of the enemies are drawn, and it's set inside a human body, and it's all about different cells, and it's kind of educational as well. It's like edutainment. I also got myself into Gintama. Again, I've tried watching Gintama before and never really clicked. I started Gintama, I thought it was hilarious, and it's now another one of those anime where if I don't want to watch Naruto but I don't know what else I want to watch, I'll put Gintama on. And finally, I started watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. I have seen the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub so many times. It's the 4Kids dub with the really bad editing where instead of having guns, they just point at people. It makes no sense. But finally, Crunchyroll has put the Japanese version of Yu-Gi-Oh! On its streaming service, and I'm really excited. There is hardly any difference. The only difference is it's not over-edited, but I'm enjoying it more than I enjoyed the dub version of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know why. The only disappointment is Yami Yugi's voice in the Japanese version doesn't quite match up with his voice in the American version, and I'm so used to hearing Yami Yugi's kind of deep, I don't want to say sexy because it's weird, but you know what I mean, and it's not quite that in the Japanese version. And finally, I thought I would finish this video off with telling you guys the top 5 anime I want to watch next year. Number 1 is Double Decker Doug and Kirill. This is from this season of anime. It's a kind of wacky, funny comedy, buddy cop, fantasy, sci-fi kind of thing. There's a lot of stuff going on. I've only seen the first episode, but I'm really interested. It's probably going to be the next thing I watch when I finish things like Zombieland Saga. I want to get through most of the new season stuff before the new season starts in like January. Also from this season, we have Run with the Wind. This is my sports anime of choice for the next couple of weeks. I will probably start watching it in the new year just to get it out of the way. It's about runners rather than like skaters or cheerleaders. And it feels like it's going to have some proper emotional weight to it. Hopefully it doesn't backtrack me. Hopefully it's not one of those anime that's all happy, 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 and then the final episode is tragic. Because if that happens, I'm just going to go back to watching Attack on Titan and nothing else. Number 3 is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I like dragons. That's really it. 4th is Bungo Stray Dogs. I actually got the first volume of the manga of this in a loot crate. I read that. I then promptly watched the first episode on Crunchyroll while I was going through my entire queue. And I'm intrigued. I really want to know what's going on there, and I don't think I can be bothered to buy the manga and read that, so I'm going to watch it instead. And finally, we have School Live. I like anime where everything is not what it seems. And I was talking to Alex about this. We were talking about Goodnight Punpun, and he basically said that he wanted something like Punpun where there's a twist, it's not really all what it seems. And I looked it up on my phone and I said, hey, we should watch School Live. And he kind of went, yeah. And I swear to God, not 5 minutes later, he nudged me and went, I've got an anime we can watch. And I was like, oh yeah, what's that? School Live. I was like, mate, I have literally less than 5 minutes ago suggested that to you. But we did watch the first episode. It is very interesting. I'm really intrigued to know how the story is going to progress with, I don't know her name, I'm really sorry. The main character's little psychosis that she's got going on. And I think it'll be really interesting and it will have a very good twist. And that is it. That is my anime review of the year. I don't think I'm going to call this video that, but that's kind of what it was. Let me know what you guys are currently watching, what you want to watch next year in the comments below, and feel free to recommend me stuff as well, because as I've said plenty of times, I'm not the sort of person that tries a lot of new things. I know what I like and I'm going to stick with it. So feel free to suggest me something completely different and maybe I'll watch it and maybe I'll really enjoy it. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And don't forget, you can join me every Friday at 8 for the next video.